Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. All right, so
I'll get it.
You got it?
Yeah, I'll get it for you.
No worry about that. Don't you worry about it. I'm sure we'll find it.
Too busy stressing about the damn roast, BJ.
Yeah, tomorrow is the big day for us.
I know.
We're going to be. Unfortunately, it's sold out. So, but we're still going to be roasting Steve.
Yeah. Tomorrow night. Stop hitting us up for free tickets.
Yeah, guys. It's over. Yeah.
You know how many people I've had hit me up, and I'm like, we've been promoting it for how long?
Yeah.
And saying, hey, get it. It's looking like it's going to sell out. And
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like it sold out in 3 days. It took a few weeks.
Yeah.
So I really don't have any sympathy at this point.
There was plenty of time if you really wanted to see Steve Fry.
Yes.
Steve, you literally gave a ticket countdown.
I know.
There were 50 left, guys.
Right.
It's still people keep hitting us up.
100, under 50.
I know you're busy, but if you're really my friend, I feel like you would know that you had plenty of time to get tickets to see me. So
the best of my friends and family are like, "Are there free tickets?" I'm like, no.
I mean,
sorry.
Come on. Yeah, Daddy's got to make the cash. Pay up, okay?
Daddy's got to make. That's how I'm going to answer everything from now on.
That's what you should do.
He'll be like, "Hey, what time is it?" Daddy's got to make the cash. I can't tell you what time.
Have you seen how many snowmen I got to buy that kid of mine? Daddy's got to make the cash.
So many snowmen.
Yeah. So John Hinckley, you may not remember that name unless you're a history buff. Or you're old enough like us to remember it. He's the man who shot and tried to kill President Ronald Reagan back in 1981, which was about 40 years ago, a little over 40 years ago.
And wasn't it like he did it because he was obsessed with Jodie Foster? What actress was it?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
he was
Jodie
obsessed with
Foster.
An actress,
yeah.
and in his own head, he thought that this was his way of getting to her. If I remember correctly. I just remember being a very, very little kid and being wrecked by this because that's why I remember I wrote a letter to Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan as a child.
Oh, you did do that, yes. Because he got shot and you wanted to give him your heartfelt sympathy.
And I was so heartbroken, but as a child I wasn't very bright, as an adult as well. And I drew the crime scene as I drew a crayon drawing
slightly
of Ronald Reagan and like a little blood.
Yeah, oh my God.
I'm surprised that Secret Service didn't knock on our door. But I did get a letter back from Nancy Reagan saying, leave us alone. No, she said, she was just like, thank you so much. And I'm sure someone wrote it for her, but
I wish I could have been in the room when they all saw that. Whoever saw your recreation of the crime scene, and like, this kid is so effed in the head. we're going to probably have to keep an eye on him.
But it was a heartfelt, I'm sorry, and I'm thinking of you, like, kind of thing. I'm just blown away that my parents even let me send that.
I just wanted
they had a packet. They had to put it in an envelope and mail it. My dad probably like, what a stupid idiot.
Yeah, really. Yeah, your dad's
a
like,
stick figure of a guy with blood around him.
What the hell are you doing, kid? It's like, I hopefully never want to lose a limb and have you try to send me a get well card because I feel like you're going to just show my leg dangling off a table.
But I got a letter back.
Yeah, you did. You did. Along with probably a microchip that hopefully can monitor you.
Wasn't able to fly for a few years after that, but
it's so strange.
It's weird.
So John Hinckley is the dude that actually did try to assassinate President Ronald Reagan back in 81. And he was released from a Virginia psych ward in 2016. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I kind of remember that story, and I remember being surprised, like, I can't believe they let him out at all. You just figure that somebody as powerful and important as a president, you don't ever get out. They're always going to find a reason why you just don't get parole or whatever. But they did let him out in 2016.
So it says, yep, it was because of Jodie Foster and the movie Taxi Driver was, I guess, what?
Wow.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
And Jodie Foster, that was like one of the first roles she ever had as a very young child.
Yeah, and he went so far before the assassination attempt to like stalk her as well when she was going to college and stuff.
This is, see, this is why I'm like, man, I know that people get to serve their time and be out. But I just think, if I'm a doctor, do I want to be the one that was credited for signing him out? And then if he does something crazy,
imagine being Jodie Foster also.
Oh yeah.
Like, how did I get roped into this crap? Like,
you're right.
That just sucks.
Oh. So how about now that he's released and out like living life? He's a singer and a songwriter, and he's trying to have a career doing this. And here's a sample of him singing one of his tunes, Unlock Your Heart. This is John Hinckley, the guy that tried to assassinate President Reagan, singing a song called Unlock Your Heart.
You got the answers to everything I need. You got me thinking that maybe I'll succeed. Unlock your heart.
I know this is probably insensitive, but I feel like someone should take him out back and... Oh, jeez. Is that too soon?
I mean...
No time to cry.
It's better than the last couple of Radiohead records, but that's not
Hey, if you had some programming to it.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
it's fine. Like, if I was at a coffee shop and someone was singing in the background, I'm like, oh, don't quit your day job.
How about if you were in a coffee? Because he's doing a live show in Brooklyn, New York. The show is already sold out. Which
That's the craziest part about all of this, man.
I mean, I wouldn't pay to see the guy if I have, like you said, if I walked into a coffee shop and whatever, and then he was part of the. Okay, still that would be weird to go if everybody was whispering. You know who that guy is?
Why would you go to that? Is it just because out of pure curiosity?
Yeah.
It's got to be like somebody maybe who's like a history buff,
I guess.
or you just like, this is so absurd, I need to be there for this. I can't imagine anyone's going because they're like, dude, Unlock Your Heart's my jam. Like, that's right up there with the new Taylor Swift record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone's doing that. It's got to be just morbid curiosity.
I'm also worried on the other side because, look, there are people who obviously thought, no way should this guy ever be released from prison, and obviously, who took it very, very personally when the president was, an attempted assassination. I'm like, man, they better have security there because there are also other people who are unstable that might want to do harm to him.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so
this is a really kind of weird situation.
Yeah. And we know what security is like. I mean, we saw what happened at the Oscars, not any security there, and that's one of the biggest events ever. I got to be thinking John Hinckley's security can't be any better than that, right?
I mean, when I saw that it sold out, I don't know how big this place is, Hotel Brooklyn. I can't imagine it's very big, but...
If it's 100 people, that's still a lot more than I expect.
If you were a venue, would you even agree to let this guy perform at your venue? I wouldn't.
People want to make money.
I know. I don't know if I need that kind of money, though.
Yeah, I'm with you. Everyone deserves to be forgiven. I get it. And if in fact he's been cleared and rehabilitated,
sure,
okay. I'm trying to do the math, and he was almost pretty much in psychiatric treatment for almost 40 years. So I get that. All right. I mean, that's a long time. I don't know. Look, we're all different people than we were when we were 20 years old, let alone if he was given psychological treatment. But still, I wouldn't. I have no interest in this.
Yeah, I have no idea how big this Market Hotel is that he's performing at. But, I mean, when I saw the story, first of all, I was like, that's very interesting. Like, whatever. I mean, lots of people write music. I mean, hell, Charles Manson was a singer-songwriter, too. I mean, it's like...
He helped the Beach Boys, I guess, or at least he was with them for a little bit. He did something with them. So
I mean, but the fact that it sold out is such an interesting thing. I would love for a documentary crew to be at that show and ask everybody that comes in through that door, why are you here?
And do you think...
I know you're not here because you're a fan of his music.
Do you think any of his songs are going to be about, like, what he did, or, like, any Jodie Foster relates? I would be curious.
I hope not.
I would be curious to feel like, has he worked stuff out that way?
I sure hope not.
Because, I mean, that's kind of, what songwriters do. Like, they sing about stuff that's, like, was tragic in their life sometimes.
If he's performing in their grand ballroom, it can hold up to 600 people.
Whoa! All right, that's a lot, and I bet he must be right. 600 people in New York, that's not a lot. You can fill that
speechless.
up.
Right?
My bad. We had struggles filling a 300 capacity place.
Yeah,
we need to start covering this.
You didn't try to assassinate anybody, Steve. I told you, as your agent, you need to go out and try to assassinate somebody. That's how you get to be a big musician.
Legit, I thought you were going to say maybe the place was like a small, like, little coffee shop type place, like maybe a capacity of 150, and I'd be like, still weird. But okay, 150 people, I could almost see the curiosity. But 600 people are going to go see this guy?
Wow, and it's sold out. What do you think they're charging for a ticket?
It doesn't say.
Yeah, let's say $20 maybe a ticket. Maybe that seems reasonable.
Let's see like what other shows are going on to get, maybe we could get like an idea of like what. Let's see, buy tickets just so another show at their place. Okay, $12 is what they're charging for one concert. So maybe $15. You think?
15, 20 maybe at the most because it's Hinckley.
This show's $35.
Whoa! What did that guy do? Did he try to? Who did he try to assassinate?
It's War Moon Lord, of course. BJ.
Oh, War Moon Lord. Okay, don't know who that was. And look, watch, someone's going to text us and go, you don't know who War Moon Lord is?
You work at a rock station, you don't know War Moon Lord?
Yeah, we don't, because we're stupid. Yeah.
Well, goes without saying.
Well, there you go. John Hinckley. John Hinckley's getting do a show.
I'm just so fascinated by the person that's willing to drop any amount of money to see this guy perform.
Yeah. But you're right. It's probably morbid curiosity.
Has to be.
Morbid curiosity. I don't have any interest in seeing the guy. But look, I hope he's got a good life, and I hope he's cured to the point that he doesn't want to hurt people anymore. That would be great.
That's the most, that part I would like. If he's out and about, I'd like to hope that they feel very confident that he's not going to do something stupid again.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't want to be the doctor to sign off on that. I really wouldn't, because all of a sudden I'm no longer an expert in anything. I am a complete ruin. So there was a study. I love this study here because, well, I'm sure you guys are going to think of me.
Uh-oh.
A new study was done on the people, on what who people said is the biggest a-hole that they know. So thank you.
Well, the roast is tomorrow, but...
Yeah, this comes in perfect time.
I know, but you know what? I mean, you're being roasted, but seriously, out of this show, I don't think you have as much of an a-hole status as I do. There's no way.
Oh, no, dude. I think if...
there we go.
10 out of 10 people ask, 10 out of 10 will say PJ.
Yeah. So I feel good about it. I've worked up I spent a lot of my life working my way up to this fine, prestigious award.
You are, though. Don't you have a plaque in the other room?
I really should.
A-hole of the year.
Yeah, it's you don't want to know what they put on the plaque, though. It's really just a plaque with a hole in it. A full half of the a-holes that people mentioned fell into one of three categories. So basically, they went and said, "Okay, who do you think is an a-hole? Name it." And 50% of all of the answers were basically one of these three things.
Okay,
all right. So an old boss.
Yeah, well, especially if it's an old boss because they let you go.
Your old boss, actually. Your old boss, I never dug.
Nobody did, and I did.
I know. Yeah, you actually you defend him, and look, he's a human being. I'm sure he's.
Well, he had a coke problem. I mean, you can't cut a guy some slack.
Yeah, you're right.
It made a lot more sense when I realized that.
You're absolutely right. I think a lot of people I didn't get along with because I wasn't a drug user.
Right.
I probably didn't realize they were on drugs, which is why I had such an issue with them. But I didn't know I was talking to Drug Boy.
I just thought I thought he was just a stoner. Because I knew that he did that, but it was after the fact when the company gave me his cell phone because they you can have his Palm Pilot Trio phone. Remember those days?
Oh, yeah.
And they never scrubbed it, so
Whoops.
I saw all of his very not so subtle.
No.
Can I get an 8-ball to the same guy?
That's right.
And different random texts about getting drugs that was still on his phone. It was pretty funny.
And he really had he had a great way of disguising these people in his phone. Like I think that entry was Cokie McCokerson was the person he
Cokie McCokerson.
Yeah, that way nobody would have a clue that was his coke dealer.
He did that on his work phone?
Yes.
Not even his personal phone?
Well, yeah.
Your work phone was your personal phone.
It's a while ago, Joe. A lot of folks just didn't realize how technology could really F you over.
It was the Palm Pilots, and they gave it to him. Those. And
he doesn't know what a Palm Pilot is. I don't think Joe even knows what that is.
The Palm Pilot Trio? It was like an iPhone before iPhones.
Oh, okay.
It had one of those type pad. It was just like...
It was a BlackBerry before BlackBerries.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you know what a BlackBerry is?
Yeah, and I would never hit up my dealer on that phone.
I used to still have it in my desk drawer. I think I eventually did purge it, but I kept them because it's just so funny. But it was just like a big-ass phone.
Yeah. It was a great invention before they somehow let somebody else make it better.
Back in the old days, we were in cahoots with so many cell phone providers that they would offer up certain people on the staff would get free cell phone service, and he was one of them because it's important.
He's
the boss
an important
got
guy. Cokie McCokerson.
Right. So I was trying to get a company phone for the longest time. No, we don't have one. But then when he got let go, they're like, "Hey, we have one. We'll give it to you." And I was like, "That's amazing!" And I was so excited because I got this Palm Pilot, new to me. And then he never.
Nope.
And they never.
Nope.
No.
Yeah. So Steve was like, wow, I have a lot of hookups.
I assume you said nothing to the company.
No, I wasn't going to. At this point, he's already fired. Why pee on the guy's grave?
I'm sure they all knew. Because let me tell you, Joe, in those days, whenever somebody got fired, then everybody came out of the woodwork with stories. So that people knew. They just never said anything back in those days.
Right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, that was pretty crazy.
So an old boss is the first person that pretty much everybody says, who's an a-hole in your life? An old boss. Also, number 2 on the list is an estranged family member is usually the most popular a-hole in people's lives.
A few people in my family would have that about certain folks. I never, again, weird thing, but like the people that, there's one guy in my family that everyone just swore off. It's my mom's brother, my uncle. And she had a couple brothers, so it's not, but the one, it was so bad that when my grandfather passed away, he left him $1 in his will just as because he said if I leave him nothing, he never finds out that he got nothing. If I leave him $1, somebody's tracking him down to say,
there you go.
Your father passed away, and all you got was $1.
Man,
I was like, that is gangster.
That's super gangster.
And everybody just really hated him. I thought he was a really nice guy.
I don't know what that says about you, him, or everybody involved in this story. It's hard to say.
I probably just didn't know all the ins and outs of the family drama. They kind of kept my brother and I maybe a little isolated from it.
Or you're an a-hole. I mean, because, a-holes probably
flock together.
Yeah.
It's like ducks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You all gather around the a-hole fountain.
Yeah. Form of a flying V, not V, flying B for bunghole.
So we got an old boss who's definitely most people's a-holes. We have estranged family members as most people's a-holes in their life. Or an ex, which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, my ex, I don't have any issues with her. I'm kidding.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know you had an ex.
Oh,
well,
really?
This is
not ex-wife, but ex-girlfriends. I don't really have any issues with any of my ex-girlfriends either.
I mean, you shouldn't have an issue with an ex, like, boyfriend, girlfriend. I feel like, ex to me is like somebody who you really were, like, married to. I feel like, or at least, in some cases you had a long enough marriage to them. I don't know, man. Should you have that?
I can see if like a divorce ended ugly. I can understand why there would be like that. But for relationships, like boyfriend, girlfriend stuff, like even ones that were like did some pretty heinous stuff, it was like, I didn't like them for about a month, and then I moved on and realized I'm happier without them. So why am I going to let them, live rent free in my head?
You guys clearly never had your ex bang your roommate and then steal your iPad.
Oh, well, there you go. I didn't realize that happened.
No, wait, so they banged your roommate and stole
your iPad and ended the relationship there.
Wow.
No. I mean, what are you going to do?
Did
that happen to you?
No, my roommate.
I was not the one who banged you?
No, I was not the one who broke it up.
Oh,
yeah.
I could see you doing that.
Maybe.
Unintentionally,
definitely.
Well, guys, I didn't know. I just texted her and said, you could talk to me too.
Yeah, she said, okay.
I just felt like it was an iPad. If I banged her, why don't I take the iPad? Just, go for the trifecta here. What the heck?
But I've had ones that I've had hooked up with, like, in college, there was an ex that hooked up with a buddy that I was friends with. And it definitely, at the time, it was a catalyst for why I moved out here. Like, one of the many reasons. But I was like, I got to get away from everybody. I can't trust a single soul. I'm moving them out. It was just a very knee-jerk. But then soon after that, I was like, what am I going to do? And it was funny because I remember, like, eventually, she requested me as a friend on Facebook. And I thought that was pretty hilarious.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little weird.
It's college. It was like, at that point, it was like a good 10 years after the fact.
I guess. Yeah, I
didn't have any ill will.
You're a dumb kid. Everybody's a dumb kid, I suppose.
Well, she's trying to figure out if she made a mistake. Like, maybe I shouldn't have done that and stayed with Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I accepted the friendship and just DM'd her and said, you effed up.
Oh, nice.
That's it.
Now tell me where your iPad is. I need to go steal it.
I'm sure it's like, you're so far removed, you're probably thinking, I wonder what that person's up to. And then you're like, let's just dip the waters and see if they're not going to hate me if I request their friendship. That's kind of how I view it.
Do you have anybody? You know what? Because you're Steve Miggs, you just don't give much attention to anything that would be like bad juju in your life. Is there anybody who you consider an a-hole? Like in your, seriously in your life where you go,
besides you?
Okay, again. This is a serious conversation, Mr. Comedy, because I think I'm going to bet. I bet that you don't have anybody.
I don't hate anybody.
Whereas Rev and I probably have multiples of people that we believe are a-holes in our lives.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of people we are. We're miserable people that even if you're not an a-hole, we're going to make you one just because it makes our life,
There's people I'm not fond of, and I just make it I make a very conscious effort to not be around them. That way I don't have to deal with it.
Oh,
you know
really?
What I mean? Like, it's like if I'm not fond of you, then you're just not dead to me, but like, I'll hi-bye you. but I don't want to know anything about you. I don't need you in my world. I'd rather put my energy towards people that aren't that and spend time with them.
I'll give people chances, and then at some point I'm just like, no, I'm done with you. And I've told some people that I'm just like, I'm cutting you out of my life because of how much of an a-hole you are.
At least you say that. I mean, that's nice that you do.
And I've only had to do it. I've had to do it very few times, but like, if you're like going to be that sort of person, I'm just like, I got to tell you, and just we're done.
There are people that I know, like, because I consider myself, I know I'm an a-hole, so I try to monitor myself.
Well, in fairness, you're not. You just got a-hole tendencies.
Oh, that's awfully nice of you. I mean, you know what? That's a glass half full version of what you think of me. I appreciate it.
Not
but you
fully an a-hole, but you're capable of being one.
Well, I mean, I've been working on it. Like the therapist says, you can take the kid out of the a-hole, but you can't take the a-hole out of the kid.
That sounds very wrong.
Well, that's why I had to let him go. I really felt like, I'm not sure that's good therapy, and I think maybe some of us should call the authorities on you, sir.
Time to find a new therapist.
Yeah, that's really what I need to do. But there are people in my life who just aren't, like, we used to hang a lot, and we don't, but they never, like Rev, at least said, I'm done with you. So I wonder what happened. I mean, I believe I know what happened, but there's nothing that's ever said. And the other part of it is that's kind of the Pacific Northwest is people will just say, they'll go, don't you get it? I'm not calling you anymore, so I hate you.
Right.
And it's like, it'd be nice if you had said something, though. I mean, it feels weird that nothing is said. It's just this is how we go in our lives.
I don't really know anyone that, like, I guess I'm not, like, I don't really, like, have, like, a big circle of, like, random people that I hang out with. But, like, the people that I do hang out with, I've never had one where it's, like, I needed to, like, full on just cut the friendship. Maybe one, it was more like a coworker, though, but in general.
Wow, I'm right here, Steve.
I'm sorry. But in general, like, most of the people in my life, like, they're decent people. So, like, even if they do something that's kind of stupid, like, we get past it. Whereas, like, there are some people in this world, like, I meet and I'll like, my buddies will tell me about. I'm like, that just sounds like an insufferable jerk. Like, why?
So Steve doesn't even give him a shot.
No.
It's like, all right, well, never mind. I don't even know this guy. Don't introduce me to him.
Especially nowadays. Like,
you got stuff.
I got a crazy 2-year-old I got to be around. Like,
you don't need any other people that have tendencies that don't please you sometimes. Yeah.
And change her diapers. I don't need to deal with your crap.
Oh, I see what you did there.
So it says I don't hate anyone. I just have people I avoid, but I don't hate people.
All right, fair enough. There you go. Well, how about this? The internet is losing its mind over Spokane-style pizza. Why is it so controversial? I'll tell you at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. There's a guy, his name is Josh, and he's the host of a YouTube series called Mythical Kitchen. I never heard of the show, but
no.
And he just posted a video about a Spokane-style pizza that has a lot of people online very confused. And you can check out the video on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com. Here he is talking about what goes into a Spokane-style pizza.
Spokane-style pizza is the most underrated regional pizza. You start off with a Pyrex because Spokane actually invented the casserole, fry sauce, a local delicacy. Then you're going to put some canned salmon on top of there, along with bell pepper and onion. Then you top it with mozzarella cheese and some wild forage strawberries from the Spokane Coeur d'Alene region. That gets baked Detroit style with a crispy cheese crust, and then you bring it out and top it with more fry sauce. Let's dig in. You get that good quality Eastern Washington salmon. You got that beautiful creamy fry sauce and that little hit of sweetness and acid from the strawberry. I see why the entire city of Spokane and the greater Coeur d'Alene region really loves this pizza. This is awesome. You guys should check it out.
I never even heard of this. I mean, you'd think we would have at least heard about it.
The funny part is most people in Spokane who have been commenting on this said, I've never heard of this. I have no idea what this guy's talking about.
Okay, so
is he doing a make 'em up and he's just effing with all of us?
I really think that this is just somebody messing with people.
He must be, unless...
And did Spokane really create the casserole dish?
I think all of this is BS.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
The great local canned salmon,
right?
You know what? We got a
fry sauce.
We got a buddy who unfortunately does radio at the same time we do, so I don't know if he'd be available. But Dave Sposito, who's been a great radio guy in Spokane for the longest time, he would know. He would know if any of this is a make 'em up or anything. So if I see him at our convention this year, I'll ask him if I can remember. I have never. And you, like you
maybe
said,
there's like a weird shop in Spokane that does it, that's known for this, that not many people have heard of. But dude.
Okay.
That all being said, I would try it.
Yeah, it looks good.
I mean, the salmon part's a little weird, and so are the strawberries. But, I like pineapples on my pizza. I know. Shocking. But maybe pineapples, maybe strawberries on pizza are good, too.
And he called it Detroit style because it's a rectangle. Is that the idea? Rectangle casserole, like dish?
It's almost like a Sicilian-style pizza, Detroit. But
okay.
I think there's also because I think they put the sauce on top of the cheese then afterwards as well, and it gets burnt ends.
That's good.
Oh, dude, Detroit-style pizza is amazing.
Yeah, okay.
But this sounds disgusting, but I'm willing to try it because, it could be good.
Yeah. And there's no tomato sauce, right? I don't see any. I saw him. Yeah.
Doesn't look like
he's using this sort of pinkish sauce. What do you call the fry sauce or something?
Yes.
I guess. Yeah. So there's no tomato sauce at all in this. So all you got is the strawberries, the cheese, and the salmon. Did he say anchovies?
No, I didn't do anchovies.
I don't think just the salmon. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with Rev. I think this is a complete make 'em up, but I'm willing to give it a whirl.
My favorite response is the Washington Department of Health tweeted, logged onto Twitter, saw Spokane-style pizza trending, watched the video, logged off Twitter. And just was like, no.
Okay, so
nobody's in on this.
Nobody's owning this. Nobody is deciding to own this. So what about them being the creator of the casserole, which I think that's kind of cool if Spokane did that.
Yeah, can we find out that's true?
See, this is the thing. This is what
you
kills me.
You can do anything on the internet and people will believe you.
Yeah, and this is why I don't know where's the future of humanity if pretty much it's just all make 'em up. Nothing is going to be true.
According to the Seattle Times, maybe a New Hampshire woman invented the modern casserole.
I love this guy.
Modern casserole. So, yeah, in Berlin, New Hampshire. So
that's the modern. Yeah, so what's this guy talking about?
Well, he's got 130,000 followers and also has a podcast called A Hot Dog is a Sandwich.
Okay, I hate this guy.
See, I love this guy.
I hate Josh so much.
I think he's just doing trolley type crap. And, dude, it's blown up on Twitter. People are losing their minds over this.
And that's the problem is that, I don't know if you've seen on Facebook, and this is what irritates me. Have you seen the thing about the shocking scandal about Mayim Bialik? Like, that ad always shows up, all the news. Am I the only one getting it?
I don't get that.
You're getting your targeted ads because you got a thing for Mayim Bialik.
Are people upset because he wears the same jacket or something like that?
No, let's see if I can show you, because I just had it on my Facebook page.
Well, I'll probably have it now.
Yeah.
Stop talking about it. I don't want to deal with this
Where
crap.
is she? There she is. There it is. Jeopardy fans are up in arms over the allegations pending against Mayim Bialik. And
I've never seen
and
this.
it's a sponsored. So this is an ad that Facebook is sending me. So I snoped it because I kept getting these things about Mayim Bialik. I clicked on it one time and it said something dumb. And then finally Snopes said, no, this is just somebody trying to make money. And unfortunately, nothing can be done about this. Mayim Bialik is going to be targeted as a negative person about things that are untrue about her.
I'm still watching Call Me Cat. It's not working.
Well, I'm not gonna, here's the problem. Yeah. I watch Call Me Cat, and I will not watch Call Me Cat. I mean, that to me should be what they should be talking about. It's like...
Yeah, the sponsor thing, too. It's like if anyone with a couple dollars can get something out there and sponsor it.
But that idiots are going to believe something that's not true if they don't go to Snopes. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
This is horrible because then a guy like me goes, I will not believe anything that you tell me that you got on the internet. I just won't believe it anymore.
If it seems ridiculous, I just assume it probably is. And then it's a matter of, is this still entertaining to me? And then this Spokane pizza one cracked me up mainly because of the comments. Like what Rev read and someone said, I'm a native of 30 years of Spokane. I assure you this is not a thing. Just because one poor college student made it once or twice doesn't mean the whole surrounding area eats it. The only thing Spokane eats consistently is meth, which is not on your pizza.
That was response was Spokane-style pizza was meth and raw pizza dough.
Wow. Thank you, Spokane Chamber of Commerce, for this message. Wow. All right. Well, I mean, God, and where's this idiot from? Where's Josh from? Like that he knows it's Spokane pizza.
I think he lived there at some point. That's what he's saying. He went to a week-long shot put camp at Whitworth University in Spokane.
And because he's there for a week.
All right, this guy
he's a comedian.
Yeah,
You don't like people having fun.
Well, not when you're telling me facts that aren't true.
Yeah, but what does this this fact does nothing. Like, it doesn't change life.
But there's too many
stupid pizza.
But there's too many people out there. How about if you don't mind if you look like an idiot when you're talking to somebody?
Dude, what do I do for a living? Do I mind if I look like an idiot? Yeah. What is tomorrow night going to be? Do I mind if I look like an idiot?
Yeah, I do. I actually get very upset when I say, so anyway, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, no, that's not true. I'm like,
all that being, Joe,
internet.
You're our resident chef. would you make us this pizza?
Dude, this pizza sounds terrible.
It does.
It sounds so bad. Like, that's why I think it has to be a joke, because there's no way you would put that stuff together.
Can we live without the onions and the salmon?
Yes.
And I think after that,
without the onions and the salmon, you got fry sauce, mozzarella, strawberries, and more fry sauce.
Yeah,
and the peppers. Yeah,
and bread.
Yeah, and he's making it sound like he's a top chef guy. He goes, that's the acidity and the whatever.
That's what's so great about it.
Yeah, he is definitely trolling us.
He's such a dork. I love him for it.
I don't.
So we're not eating this pizza anytime soon?
No, I'm not going to eat this pizza. I'm not. But you know what, Josh, you're dead to me. I hope we never mention you again. That's how I am about it. Even if he's kidding around and he's known for that on his channel, okay. The trouble is you don't know if someone's a comic if you don't know who they are. You don't know if they're serious or not.
I feel like he's just a comedic-based food thing.
Okay, well, I guess that is something. I mean, you know what?
Mythical chef.
Yeah. Oh, good call. Maybe that's it. See, maybe it's a joke. I know. What's he read himself as? What's his
he's
description?
A food guy, a hot dog is a sandwich podcast, did journalism once, wrote a cookbook once, threw up in the bathroom of a seafood buffet once.
God, I hate this guy. It's, you know what it is? It's an okay boomer moment for me. I just hate this guy so much.
You just don't like him whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, he's a millennial, right? You know, I'm just, I'm wired to
millennials.
Yeah.
And their jokes.
I'm wired to hate him. I'm sorry.
With their pizza.
I'm wired to hate this guy. He's probably the nicest kid in the world. Probably somebody's son. But you know what? Those parents failed.
Someone said he's on a YouTube channel called Good Mythical Morning, and it's probably a dish made by stuff inspired by Spokane, but they have a ton of subscribers.
Okay. I'm done with them. It's over.
Well, it's been nice knowing you, Josh.
Yeah. I know he cares about me as well.
See, these are the things because you know me, I love to say something so absurd to see if people will believe it.
You do that a lot, and yes. I've decided to not believe anything you say anymore because you've caught me too many times.
Yes.
You know, either you've rock rolled me, you've Dominic the donkeyed me. I'm done listening to you.
I feel like if you say anything with a bunch of confidence and just have people give you that look like they almost had that, there's that seed of doubt. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's delivering it with such confidence in how he describes it, and the casserole line too about made famous in Spokane, and that's why it's a casserole pizza.
Yeah.
Like, I love everything about it.
I think that it's just internet fatigue because, unfortunately, people are doing a lot of stupid stuff, not for humor, just because they're idiots. And, so that's my problem. It's here's some more information that's not true.
Well, that's the problem. Like when you have The Onion that did so well, and, then you have all these copycat websites that are trying to do satirical news stories, but their satire's not as good or clever. And some of it just seems realistic. And then you go to the website and you have to click on the about, and it's we're a satirical, and where's the punchline?
Yeah.
If you're going to be a satire, you got to have it be funny.
Yeah, there's got to be there's got to be ridiculousness in there instead of just saying, this person went and, killed a bunch of people.
Right.
And you're like, well, that could have happened. I mean, what's funny about that?
Right. It's Leonardo DiCaprio left his wife to marry a bat. And you're like, what? Okay. And then you're like,
well, even then,
listen to the Week in World News,
you can't even come up with a serious thing. Believe me, that is funny.
That's actually kind of entertaining.
Or Bat Boy. He married Bat Boy. Remember Bat Boy way back in the day?
He was Bad Boy.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and I mean, this guy, I went through his feed a little bit more about all of his ridiculous stuff, and he made a licorice pizza from the movie Licorice Pizza, and there is no licorice pizza in the movie. It's a metaphor or some crap. But he literally just took a pizza and then put red and black licorice on it, stuck it in the oven, and pulled it out.
That I won't try.
So this is just a bunch of make 'em up and taking a shot at Spokane. Because it is a horrible looking casserole pizza.
I think he just tried to find some place that people would be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never been there, so maybe sure.
Yep. I 100% agree with you. Right?
Now, how many people are going to Spokane Pizza Places asking for this?
I hope everybody now.
At least one.
Yeah. His name would have been BJ.
Spokane Pizza. I don't see it on your menu.
It would have been me. Because I like to try the local flavors. So, hey, give me some of that Spokane, and then get the hell out of here, will you?
If I'm a Spokane Pizza place, I might even introduce it on the menu. Be as made famous by Josh, the internet douche.
Don't. All right, well, if you call me internet douche, I support this. All right. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right.
What round-bottom cooking vessel did China introduce to the culinary world?
Oh, my dad loved cooking on this. A wok.
Did he really?
Yes, he was big into cooking on a wok.
That's amazing.
Oh, look at you, mister. You know your stuff.
You live the walk life, man.
Wow. You ought to make a pizza.
A walk pizza.
There we go. That's what they do in Spokane. That's how they make it. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another question from a listener. I'm getting my wages garnished. Can bankruptcy help with that?
Absolutely. One of the big reasons people file bankruptcy is because they have a judgment or a lawsuit against them, or their wages are getting garnished, and so they can't pay their other regular ongoing bills. People sometimes think that you can't file bankruptcy once they have a judgment against them or once a garnishment has started, and that's not true. Filing bankruptcy will immediately stop any garnishment that you have going, except for child support, and stop your creditors from continuing on with garnishments of your bank account, your wages, and in most cases will discharge that liability through the bankruptcy process. And we can file a bankruptcy case for you usually the day you come in.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.